Hi there. Friends, there's something interesting that happens as we move through life, especially after 55. We start noticing things, little shifts. Maybe you catch your reflection in a shop window walking down the street, and you pause for a second. There's a different kind of confidence there, something settled. Or perhaps someone pays you a genuine compliment, not just about how you look, but about your presence, your energy, and it actually lands. Feels earned. But then, maybe later that same day, you find yourself feeling inexplicably drained, a bit foggy, lacking that spark you felt just hours before. Sound familiar? It's easy to brush it off, isn't it? Put it down to just getting older, or a busy day, or maybe just needing more sleep. We're masters at finding explanations. But what if some of that dip in energy, that feeling of being just slightly out of step with your best self, wasn't just about age or circumstance? What if it was connected to something quieter, more personal? Something we often do without even thinking much about it, like reaching for a bit of comfort or distraction in moments of stress, boredom, or even just habit. That little private ritual, we all have them in different forms. Now hold on, this isn't about guilt trips or finger pointing. Absolutely not. This is about awareness. It's about recognizing the subtle ways our habits, especially those deeply personal ones, can quietly siphon off our vitality, that very vitality that gives us our spark, our style, our natural attractiveness. Think about it. Real style isn't just the clothes, it's the energy that wears them. Attractiveness isn't just a young man's game. It's the depth, the confidence, the quiet strength that radiates from a man who feels genuinely good in himself. When our energy is constantly dipping, when we feel foggy or a little disconnected, that natural radiance gets dimmed. That effortless style feels harder to muster. The beautiful thing is, as we become more aware of these little energy drains, something remarkable starts to happen. We begin to reclaim that power. And it shows up in the most wonderful, often surprising ways. You start noticing little signs that you're stepping more fully into your best self, becoming more grounded, more stylish in the truest sense, and yes, more attractive, precisely because you're feeling stronger and more present. You might not even realize these shifts are happening or what's behind them, but they're real and they're worth celebrating. So, let's talk about one of these subtle shifts, this first sign you might be moving in that direction. It often starts with clarity, seeing yourself and the world more sharply. Picture this: you wake up in the morning. Instead of that familiar mental fog, that slight heaviness behind the eyes that makes you reach for the coffee pot like it's a lifeline, there's a bit more brightness. Your thoughts feel cleaner, less cluttered. You look in the mirror while shaving or brushing your hair and you actually see yourself. Not just the face you expect, but the man looking back. There's a directness in that gaze that feels new. You notice details, maybe the quality of the light coming through the window, the way your favorite shirt feels against your skin, a sense of calm purpose about the day ahead instead of just going through the motions. This clarity isn't just about vision, it's about mental space. That internal static, the low-level buzz of fatigue or distraction that often follows those moments of private release. It starts to lessen. Suddenly, making decisions feels easier. Choosing what to wear isn't a chore. You gravitate towards things that make you feel good, that reflect this clearer sense of self. You might find yourself noticing colors more vividly, appreciating textures, actually enjoying the process of putting yourself together because you feel more present in it. That's not just style, that's the foundation of authentic attractiveness, being fully engaged in your own life. And this newfound clarity naturally leads us to another sign, something that feels deeply connected, a quiet sense of calm replacing restlessness. You know that feeling? That slight edginess, that need to do something, anything just to fill a quiet moment? It might be pacing, channel surfing, endlessly scrolling, or sometimes that pull towards that familiar private habit just to soothe a vague sense of unease. It's like a background hum of dissatisfaction. But as those moments of giving in to the old habit lessen, something else starts to fill that space. It's not emptiness, it's a quiet, steady calm. You find you can actually sit with a cup of tea and just be. Enjoy the silence. Read a chapter of a book and truly absorb it. Have a conversation without that underlying itch to be somewhere else or doing something else. It's a profound shift. This calm isn't passive, it's powerful. Grounds you. It gives your presence weight and substance. People feel it. They sense a man who is comfortable in his own skin, who isn't constantly seeking distraction. That is incredibly attractive. It's a magnetism that comes from inner stillness, a style that emanates from being truly settled within yourself. Think about it. When you feel that calm settle in, doesn't the world seem to respond differently? Interactions feel smoother. Challenges feel more manageable. Even your posture changes. You stand taller, move with less tension. That calm becomes your anchor, and from that anchor, everything else, your energy, your focus, your sense of style, starts to flow more naturally. It's like clearing the silt from a stream. The water runs clearer, stronger, reflecting the light in a whole new way. And that clarity, that calm, it opens the door to something even more powerful. That stillness we touched on, it's powerful, isn't it? It's not about shutting down or withdrawing. Quite the opposite. It's like creating a clear space inside. And from that space, something else begins to emerge, something that might surprise you. It's a kind of physical vitality returning, not just energy but stamina. You start noticing it in the small things. Maybe climbing those stairs at home doesn't leave you slightly winded anymore. Or that afternoon slump, the one where you'd reach for another coffee or just feel like zoning out, it just doesn't hit as hard. There's a steadiness there. It's more than just feeling less tired. It's a sense of your body having its own quiet strength back. You might find yourself naturally wanting to move more, not necessarily running marathons, but maybe taking a longer walk because it feels good, stretching in the morning because your body appreciates it, or finally tackling that little project in the garage without feeling utterly drained afterwards. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming your natural age-appropriate vigor. Think about it. When your body isn't constantly recovering from those intense, private bursts of dopamine and the subsequent drop, it starts to find its own sustainable rhythm. Your posture improves because you're not carrying that low-grade fatigue. You move with more ease. That translates into style instantly. A man comfortable in his body, moving with purpose, radiates an undeniable attractiveness. It's effortless confidence built from the ground up. And this returning physical presence, this grounded energy, it does something else quite remarkable. It subtly shifts how you connect with others, particularly in those moments that matter most. This brings us to deeper emotional connection, feeling more present with others. You know those times, maybe sitting across from your partner at dinner or having a coffee with an old friend. There used to be this layer. Maybe you were physically there, but part of you felt distant, easily distracted, or just a bit numb. The conversation might flow, but the depth felt missing. It wasn't intentional, just a quiet fog. As that internal calm and physical vitality strengthen, that fog starts to lift. You find yourself really listening. Not just waiting for your turn to speak, but actually hearing the tone in their voice, noticing the little spark in their eyes when they talk about something they love, feeling the weight of what they're sharing. You're more present. You respond more from the heart, less from habit or reflex. That sense of calm allows you to hold space for their feelings too. This isn't about grand gestures. It's the quiet intensity of genuine presence. Suddenly, a simple touch on the arm carries more warmth. A shared silence feels comfortable, even rich. Your partner, your friends, they feel this shift. They feel truly seen and heard by you. And let me tell you, there is nothing more attractive, nothing that speaks of deeper style and character, than a man who can be fully present, emotionally available, and deeply connected. It builds trust, intimacy, and a kind of quiet magnetism that transcends anything superficial. You become someone people genuinely want to be around because they feel valued and felt in your presence. This deeper connection isn't limited to others though. It flows inward too. That clarity we talked about earlier starts showing you your own emotional landscape with more kindness and understanding. You begin to recognize those old triggers, the stress, the boredom, the loneliness, not as commands to fall back into old habits, but simply as signals. Signals telling you something needs attention, maybe a walk, a conversation, a creative outlet, or just a moment of conscious breath. Instead of reflexively reaching for that fleeting private comfort, you start asking yourself, what do I truly need right now to feel grounded, whole, and connected to myself? It's a profound shift from reaction to conscious response. This awareness, this ability to meet your own needs in healthier, more sustaining ways, it builds a quiet resilience. You start trusting yourself more. You feel less at the mercy of old impulses and more in tune with your own inner compass. That self-trust, that inner alignment, it's the bedrock of authentic confidence. It shines through in everything, your gaze, your posture, the way you engage with the world. It's the difference between wearing clothes and inhabiting your style. It's the difference between hoping to be noticed and naturally drawing people in because you are so completely, comfortably yourself. And this journey inward, this reconnection with your own vitality and emotional core, it naturally starts harmonizing all these parts of you, the physical, the emotional, the mental. It creates a kind of inner symphony. And when that happens, the final sign emerges almost as a beautiful consequence. A sign that truly reflects the depth of the transformation taking place. That inner harmony we just touched on, it's powerful. When clarity, calm, vitality, and deeper connection start working together, not as separate parts, but as a unified whole, something truly special begins to emerge. It's not something you force. It's not about trying harder. It simply is. This is the final, perhaps most beautiful sign. Effortless magnetism at drawing people and opportunities naturally. Think about it. When you feel clear-headed, grounded and calm, physically present with that quiet stamina, and emotionally open, you carry a different energy. It's not loud or demanding. It's steady. It's authentic. You stop trying to be interesting or attractive. You simply are interesting and attractive because you're fully inhabiting your own experience. People notice. Not because you're performing, but because genuine presence is inherently magnetic. You might find conversations flow more easily. People seem to gravitate towards you a little more at social events. You catch someone's eye across the room and the connection feels easier, more natural. Compliments might come your way more often, and they feel different, deeper, more about who you are than just what you're wearing. Opportunities, too, seem to find their way to you, a chance encounter that leads to a new project, an invitation you wouldn't have expected, a moment of serendipity. It's as if the world responds to this inner alignment. This isn't magic, it's resonance. When you're no longer leaking vital energy through unconscious habits, when you're not fogged by that low-level drain or preoccupied by inner restlessness, your true self shines through more brightly. That spark, that essence of you, the experiences, the wisdom, the kindness, it becomes visible. And that's what people connect with. That's the source of real magnetism. It's the ultimate style, the style of being utterly, comfortably, compellingly yourself. It's attractiveness rooted in depth and wholeness, not superficiality. Now, looking back at these signs, the growing clarity, the settling calm, the returning vitality, the deepening connections, and now this natural magnetism, it's important to remember this isn't about achieving perfection. It's about a shift. A gentle, powerful movement towards reclaiming your own energy, your own presence, your own best self. Each small step of awareness, each moment you choose a different kind of self-care builds on the last. It's a journey, not a destination. And the most beautiful part? It's never too late to begin. The wisdom you've gathered over 55 years? That's your fuel. Your life experience? That's your foundation. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about stepping more fully into the man you are right now with all the strength and character that comes with these years. If you've recognized even one of these signs starting to flicker within you, that's a victory. Celebrate it. It means you're tuning in. You're listening to yourself. You're choosing a different path. And if you're just starting to become aware of how certain habits might be dimming your light, that's powerful too. Awareness is always the first, most crucial step. Be patient with yourself. Be kind. This isn't about deprivation. It's about liberation. It's about freeing up that vital energy so you can live with more vibrancy, more connection, more authentic style, and yes, more natural attractiveness than you might have felt in years. I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these shifts happening in your own life? Maybe a moment of unexpected clarity, a newfound sense of calm, a spark of energy you thought was gone, or a connection that felt deeper. Share your experiences down in the comments. Your journey might be exactly the encouragement someone else needs to hear. Let's build a community here of men supporting each other and living well, fully, and vibrantly after 55. If this conversation resonated with you, if it sparked a little hope or recognition, give the video a thumbs up. It helps others find this kind of supportive content. And consider subscribing to this channel. We're all about exploring ways to thrive, emotionally, physically, and personally, in this rich chapter of life. There's so much more to discover together. Remember, your best years aren't behind you. They're being shaped by the choices you make right now. Every step towards greater self-awareness, every moment you choose your own vitality, every time you connect more deeply, that's you crafting a life of strength, peace, and genuine purpose. A life that looks good, feels good, and radiates from the inside out. That's the real style. That's the true attractiveness. Here's to embracing it all. Subscribe for more.